Hello YouTube, this is Mega Man Z Team, aka The Shadow, and this is Let's Play Big Dig, episode 10 I believe now, or either that's 9, I apologize. I don't always keep track of from when I record, so sorry about that. As you may notice, changes had taken place once more. I expanded on the Applied Energistics, so that way I can get more crafting done. I haven't gotten processing set up just yet. I need to learn a little bit more on the ME interface. I've been also having problems with the bog earth not being taken out from logistics into this farm, but yet it has no problem doing it over there, and it's configured exactly the same, so it's really weird. Another thing that happened is there was a bug where normal solar panels were not producing any energy to any cable per tick. It was just 0. But this low voltage one that I finally managed to get crafted works. So that's great. I need to go and do another low voltage to kind of help balance things out a little bit more. Maybe even have a secondary battery box. So as you can see, just this one power cable is going to the 3 machines. What I have here is these ME interfaces on top, and since they are next to each other, they supply all their own power, so I don't have to have a cable connected to them. Then I have the cable going down to these ME import buses. Oops, sorry, I didn't click on the right one. And I have it set to move entire stacks, just to kind of help speed up the process a little bit. Let's see. Yeah. And then, so basically what's going to happen is the ME interface will deposit my crafted item that I want into the appropriate device, and then the import bus will automatically extract those items. As you can see here, I did some pre-made recipes. I can kind of show you a good example on how I made them. So I got the iron, gold, copper, tin, silver tin, coal dust, and sand, but I also did an alternate sand recipe for the pulverizer. And then for the electric furnace, it's not letting me, there we go. So I got the basic assembly patterns until I can get a assembly table set up, but this will work for now. Refined iron, the rest of the ingots, as well as glass. So this way it'll help quickly make for solar panels. I decided to destroy my manual wheat farm and just keep this as a string farm. I also went and crafted another energy tesseract, receiving energy from my nether engine room. So that way this thermionic fabricators will always be powered, and I don't have to worry about losing my glass. I probably won't craft anything that uses tubes just yet. I also went and put an aqueous accumulator to go and help keep this carpenter always liquefied. I haven't decided what I intended to use this carpenter just for yet, in terms of automation wise. Here I have a pump that has just 3 source blocks underneath it, so it's going to draw directly from the bottom one, so it should always have an infinite water supply. And I'm using my backpack right now to go and help power it for whenever I need to make bog earth. And you're wondering, why wouldn't you need a pump for bog earth? Because what I'm having is this ME interface take in empty cells and put in water cells. Or put empty cells in here, the pump fills it up, automatically outputs the water cell, but usually that goes flying unless you have a pipe to it. Luckily, the import bus is preset to have a water cell to be withdrawn, not an empty. If you do not have this configured, it's not going to work. It's going to go into an infinite loop where I put the empty cell. Nope, I gotta have that empty cell. Put in the empty cell. I take it out. In, out, in, out, in, out. It gets crazy. So, You must have this set up to go and be in there in order for it to extract it out. Then the bog earth recipe is automatically put into the machine. So as you can see, I've added a couple more recipes. Kind of want to break them up a little bit so a little bit more uniformity. So as you can see, here's the empty cells recipe, and then the bog earth recipe. I even did a tesseract frame. I haven't been able to get successfully to recognize how to fill the tesseract frame automatedly. I also did reduce the size of this by about 2 blocks. So it was originally here from the last recording, so I took it back about 2, and that helped deal with my energy reserves, and seems to be keeping up pretty decently. So down here, as you can see, it's charging well. I took out the redstone energy cell that was right here, and I attached it to the bigger farm to go and help improve its speed processing. I was doing a little experiment here where I was saying this is a supply pipe, connect to the network, but all it does is recognize these, so it's not going to work as way as I hoped. And since the supplier pipes of these logistics are not working, so according to what I've heard is that logistics pipes should be able to read off of these. So I'm thinking probably it's for Minecraft 1.5 or higher that probably works, and 1.4.7 doesn't. If anybody knows for sure, please let me know. And I'll try to research too if I ever get the time. So basically, whenever I do craft bog earth, it's automatically going to be withdrawn from the system, sent through here, and then there's an export bus right here. So if you can see it kind of sticking right there. So when I click on it, as you can see, it's set to always export bog earth and to do it at stacks at a time. I could do smaller ones, but I prefer stacks because I want fast. And what can I say? Who doesn't love fast? Who wants slow, really? I did a small modification of my piping up there so that it can pull the peat in that chest. So it'll feed peat both to the engines up here and to the peat engine that's on the farm above here. That seems to be not having any issues. But like I said, bog earth, for whatever reason, and the side here is the supply pipe for active supply. It's supposed to always keep 8, but it's not even doing that. So I have to manually keep track of it. That might also be probably part of the problem, is maybe it's because it's a manual farm that it doesn't want me to automate the bog earth into it. I'm not sure. I know I would love to have an iron pipe here, but it just would ruin the whole supply method then, so I can't really do that per se. I might later on. I haven't decided how I want to rework it a little bit. Maybe I'll add another hatch, one dedicated to supplying and one just to withdrawing. So then instead of gold pipe here, I could probably have a logistics pipe, which then should launch it pretty fast. We'll see. I haven't really made up my mind on that. I didn't have to cheat in the signs. Probably didn't really need to, but I just wanted to do it quickly so I had quick access to remembering what recipe was where. I'll probably destroy them later on so that I know to make the actual one later. But as you can see, it helps me to keep track of my wheat, which I really should grab some of that. So I can go and add it to this network, and then I'm going to eventually add the bread recipe into there. But I probably should actually use the other food items too to help clean up the inventory space. As you can see, the quarry is going again. The gap right there is just There's a ravine that's in the spot that I'm digging from, so I kept the frequency still at 1, and so on and off remotely. I'll go there now to kind of show you. Eventually I'll have to clean up my pipes. Just being lazy. Yes, you. I should really fill up this hole too. It's driving me nuts. I knew I said I was going to go and eventually go and dig through here so I can get that median taken care of. But, oh well. Oh, I was off. Oh well. No biggie. So as you can see, my redstone energy signal is going to the redstone energy cell, which is set to enabled high to go and make sure that if there's a redstone signal, output energy. And as you can see, I have it currently set to 10 MJ per tick. I had the input reduced down to 30, so that way, in case the engines can't keep up with other systems. So this has been pretty consistent, and it stays full. That's what matters most. I could probably turn it up to 30, but eventually it'll slowly start draining, and I don't want that. Oh, okay, I was gonna say, must have hit the gap. Get back to the day again. So as you can see, it's moving pretty decent. I mean, 10 MJ is pretty good speed. You could probably get by with 30 to go a little bit faster, but I think it's a little bit of a waste of energy. 10 is pretty sufficient for a quarry. If you don't have like the Applied Energistics system that I have set up, and you're probably doing like logistics or just simple buildcraft based sorting, probably want to go a little slower on your quarry, maybe about 5 MJ per tick, because this is pretty fast, and if you don't have your storage set up to filter nicely, especially cobble, it'll fill up fast, especially the cobble. If you do have regular buildcraft only sorting, I'd recommend on your diamond pipe put cobble, dirt, and gravel. If you had red power too, maybe marble and basalt. But I kind of like those materials, and I think a lot of people do, so I probably don't put that into a void pipe. So that way it removes the items. But if you're picky like me, and you have to have everything you don't want to waste, which is something I do frequently, um, just have the appropriate system. And I think Applied Energistics does it well. Barrels, they were great in the beginning when I first learned about them. But after kind of working with Applied Energistics, I'd just say for storage-wise, Applied Energistics is for the win. Because it depends on what size of storage cell you got. I know on my own personal mod pack that I've been trying to build, it's been about what's the word I'm looking for? Yes, I remember now. There's an extra cells mod, which allows for a larger storage system for Applied Energistics, going to megabytes, gigabytes, and terabytes, if I recall correctly. Though it's not really actual terabytes. I think it's more like the equivalent of like 256 megabytes, maybe? Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. I had Optifine installed on here, but Big Dig had an update today, and so that threw off a few things I installed. So I'll have to probably reinstall Optifine, and I'm going to try to put together a nice texture pack. Well, not the best of texture packs. It doesn't cover all the mods that's available here, but it should cover a good portion of them. It'll still look vanilla-ish. It's going to be the Faithful 32. I'm thinking will probably be the best one to showcase it. Trying to think what else. I haven't really done much else. I've pretty much been processing right now. I've been doing like copper. Lots of copper. Just be prepared for more industrial craft related. So let's take a look at ores. In case you're wondering why it didn't automatically start typing right away, I disabled the auto search in the config file because it was driving me crazy because I wanted to look up a recipe and it's like I can't do that. So now when I want, let's see, we'll say this. I can actually pull up the recipe now with this open. So that's your best workaround for that if you're not sure how to resolve that auto search. That's the way to do it. Disable the auto search and then you'll have access to your NEI recipes. Granted, the crafting terminal, it does not, NEI can't put the recipe right in for you to use right away, which is sad, and I'm sure there's going to be an NEI plugin that will allow that later on, or it's probably for the later versions of Minecraft, I'm not sure. I really hope that a lot of the mods get up to 1.5.2, so that way I can kind of get a proper mod pack built and be using more later version of Minecraft without worry. Oh, right. I forgot about showing you the recipe. I'm sorry. Let's see. I'm going to need at least one pattern. And since I have so many CPUs, it crafts pretty dang fast. Only time it takes long is if it has to process something. So that's why I've been trying to process a lot of my dust. Let's see. I need a dust. We'll take one iron ore and pull up iron. This won't be a permanent encode, but this is just kind of give you a rough idea. So you go to your ME pattern encoder. So I'm going to say I get 2 iron dust. Sorry, not 2 iron dust. Sorry. 1. Will give me 1 iron. So just like that. Grab my pattern, and I'll hit encode, and it will learn that pattern. I'm not going to actually do that. I'm going to save that for later. And since it's not a vanilla recipe, so if I went, actually, I probably should encode it, so that way I can kind of show it to you better. And those are ghost images, so that's pretty handy. So as you can see, I'm going to just go to page 3 here. It's red, meaning it's not a vanilla recipe, even though it does show the iron thing, ingot. So I take that out. And if I go to this electric furnace, as you can see, I already have the iron in there. So let's just say I'm going to put it in the pulverizer instead. So I'll put it over here, and bang. It's now going to be knowing that when I want ingots, it's going to pop it in here. It'll get pulverized, sucked out, and added to the system. I'll re-encode that a little bit later on. I'll have to remember to do that too. Put those back. I gotta use the wireless. Silly me. I always forget about that periodically. So that's kind of what I got for my current setup right now. If you have questions or would like to know more about any particular block, let me know. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to showcase next time. Since I'm kind of getting a lot of the crafting recipes added to the ME system, I might actually just start doing builds while recording, so that way you can kind of see the ME system in action and kind of get a rough idea of how it's getting powered and everything. But yeah, that should be it. I hope everybody has a wonderful Memorial weekend. See you later.